There we go. Hello. Oh, this is slightly more over than it usually is. Hello, I'm SolarLoon. I am SolarLoon, and thank you very much for stopping by. I'm an independent game developer, and this is a pixel art stream. We're going to be using a sprite today to. Oh, I was like, what is that in the background? Hold on. Hold on. Okay. I was like, what is that in the background on my dresser? Okay. Hello. So yes, I'm an independent game developer and programmer, artist, and stuff like that. I'm SolarLoon, and today we're going to be making some stuff in A-Sprite. It's going to be some pixel art. So let's get started right away, basically. We're going to get some music going, and then, yeah, let's get cracking. So for those who don't know, A-Sprite is a tool. It's for pixel art, but you can use whatever you want. You can use GIMP, you can use iDraw 3, you can use MS Paint, whatever the case is. It doesn't really matter. A sprite just has some nice like animation tools and stuff like that, but the actual mechanics of how it works is pretty much, you know, pretty normal. Nothing really particularly incredible. Hello to everybody in the chat. How is everybody doing today? Also, I'm gonna move my, yeah, it's probably a good idea if I move my my camera real quick. I feel like it's a little bit off. Maybe in the corner over there would be better. All right, let's get some music going. Chat says, how are you holding up, Nehemiah Dakers? I'm doing well, thank you. Yesterday I was feeling really cranky. For some reason, like just my mood was tanking. And then I took a nap and I was immediately better. So it's kind of crazy how much of a difference just a slight nap or a slight change can completely obliterate your mood and then completely improve it. So I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good today, at least. Fashion Killer says naps for life. Man, when I was a kid, I didn't like taking naps at all. Like I hated taking naps. I'm not really sure why. Let's go with dog food. This is Audacity. We don't want Audacity actually. No. Yeah, I'm not sure why. I guess I just felt like I was kind of wasting my time a little bit. Like I wanted to be playing games and stuff like that. Hold on, let me make sure that this is level. These levels are correct. Oh, whoops, that was an accident. Hold on. Apologies. Okay, there we go. So we're good. Yeah, that's probably okay. Yeah, so when I was a kid, I just like really didn't like taking naps. I always wanted to like play games and do other things. When really, I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with taking naps. Naps are necessary, it's part of life, and you know, they help improve your mood. They help you not feel tired. You know, a large portion of the world, as far as I know, take naps as just a normal part of their day. It's kind of a US thing, I guess, or just, yeah, kind of a US thing to just like not take naps. Or I guess maybe you could say a Western thing, as opposed to like Spain and Italy, where basically, you know, people take naps in the middle of the day because you get tired in the middle of the day. So it's just part of life. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah. So I don't know what I'm talking about specifically about the series. I'm thinking of siestas, but I don't know if that is 100% accurate. I just feel like I believe that's the case for Spain and maybe Mexico. I'm not sure. I have to do some research, but I feel like in general people do stuff to rest that people in other countries like the US just don't do, and it feels like that's probably a good idea to try to do at some stage. Try to adopt. And so for some reason I'm drawing a whale, so that's what we'll be doing today, apparently. Oh wait, what's this stream setting set to? Entertainment, let's do cartoon style. Fashion Killer says, I remember I hated sleeping as well, especially at kindergarten. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is about kids not liking to sleep, or I'm not sure if it's just us specifically. I feel like some kids really liked going to sleep and napping, but I just never really was a huge fan of it. Until I got older, and then it's just like, you know what? Naps are pretty awesome, to be honest. Let's see here. Leo Xander says, hello, Solar. Hi. Why pixel art? Why not vector or something else? I'm not familiar. I'm not as familiar with vector or other kinds of art. Pixel art I've been doing for a long time, so that's why I'm doing it. Let's see. So this is looking pretty good. Let's give him some eyes. I feel like you don't really see these kinds of eyes that often. I'm pretty sure this design is stolen from like Pokemon, but let's go with it nonetheless. Oh, that's what I need to do. I need to make sure the music loops. There we go. I should set up like a playlist so that I don't have to constantly monitor the music. But I am not that smart. This looks pretty good. I feel like it needs to be bigger though. It doesn't feel big enough. Better. Let's get a nice little preview in the corner. Make that a little bit smaller. Okay. All right, well, it definitely seems like a good start. Rubeman says, I tried learning pixel art a long time ago, but I'm too impatient for it. I understand. It's kind of interesting because like art in general is something that requires pardon me, art in general is something that requires patience to do properly. Also, I feel like I'm in the dark here. I don't have my I just realized I don't have my streaming lights on. Hold on. Well, it's the middle of the day. I think it's okay. Maybe if it was nighttime, I would need them. But this is, I think, okay. If people can't see my face, let me know. I'll turn on the streaming lights. But I think it's okay for now. But yeah, pixel art requires some patience. But I feel like for the most part, it's not pixel art specifically. I feel like you can just like you always need patience to make solid art. I don't think pixel art requires more necessarily than any other discipline of art, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Rumin says, ironically, I can do digital painting. Oh, okay. Then if you can do that, you probably have the skill and the patience necessary to do pixel art. So yeah, you could. I feel like you could definitely give it a shot, another shot, and you probably would have a pretty good time with it if you just kind of get over the feeling of needing to like not having patience. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Let's push this over a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. Fashion Killer says, I've tried learning pixel art, but I felt overwhelmed. Since I didn't do much art, I didn't know where to begin. Oh, okay. Plus, I've never done much art. Yeah, I think it can be kind of overwhelming. But at the same time, I feel like pixel art is generally accessible because like every tool is equally matched for the job. You know, it's not like, oh, if you are using a art tool that doesn't have like brush sensitivity, you're gonna be, you know, massively at a disadvantage. Like you don't need that with pixel art. You don't need you know, filters with pixel art. You don't need a lot of stuff with pixel art. You can just focus on the actual act of drawing. And so I think that from that perspective, it's very easy to get into pixel art. But I do understand your you know, your problem, your plight of trying to learn pixel art and really kind of being stuck in terms of like not knowing where to go or how to approach the core issues, which, you know, are many. Like, you know, how exactly do I shade things? How do I draw things that it looks nice and smooth? You know, all the usual stuff are indeed issues that everybody faces, and everyone kind of has to work out their solutions for it. gonna be honest, this is turning out actually a lot better than I kind of anticipated. Leo says, Solar, I know that you bring everything to the end. That's how you do not lose motivation and finish everything. Well, basically, that's a good question. So how do I not lose motivation? Well, there's a lot of different approaches to not losing motivation. I think continuous improvement is something that helps out a lot with keeping your motivation and making sure you don't lose it. I think, like in this example, compared to art I've done previously, this is, I would say, miles better. It's, not technically that impressive, but the colors and the colors chosen and the arrangement of pixels all blend together to make a sprite that's rather good. I think it's shaping up rather well. I think it's, I like it. I like this little guy. And so the thing about this is, if I did this, let's say, last year, it probably wouldn't have turned out as well. I don't think that, I don't think it's that impressive, but I don't think that it's that, I don't think it's that impressive, but I don't think I would have done quite as well, a long time ago. And so that feeling of continuously improving and continuously getting better, I feel like that is what kind of helps to keep your motivation, because it's like it's easy to lose motivation if you don't feel like you're getting better, or if you feel like everything you make is substandard. But the more you work and the more you make improvements and progress, the better you get and the more obvious it is. So it's kind of not quite what you were asking, I feel like, but in general, working and wait a second. Nice. Yeah, so in general, I would say just making continuous progress helps to keep your motivation. I think being determined to finish stuff, regardless of if you lose motivation or if you feel like it's too hard. If you just say, well, I'm going to finish it. It's a skill. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finish whatever this is. That helps out a lot as well. I guess now that I'm not as distracted, basically, finishing things is a skill. So that's the first thing to remember. It takes time, it takes effort. It's not easy to finish things. I think if you think of finishing things as some people can, some people can't, some people are good at finishing things, some people aren't. Sorry, I'm hearing some voices outside here. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, finishing things is a skill. So I think it's something that requires time and effort to improve upon. So it's okay. Hold on. Give me a second. There we go. Back. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Other people. Okay. So, yeah. So motivation is something that you just have to take you know, spend a little time on improving and working on. And I think everyone has their own thing as to like what appeals to them or what improves their motivation. For some people, their motivation kind of depends on, like, let's say, that's pretty good. Like for some people, their motivation depends on, let's say, seeing their progress, like I said. So, you know, you draw something in 2019, it looks, you know, the way it looks. Then you draw something in 2020 and it looks a lot better. That, you know, forward progression, that immediate, like, oh, I used to be adequate, now I'm better than adequate. That, you know, improvement is what helps them to keep their motivation. If that's you, that's what you're good with, and that's what you want to kind of track. You want to see, how do I compare now versus how I was in the past, as well as you want to improve, probably add as many chances for that to happen as possible, which means, you know, making more things. So if you are an artist, then you want to draw more. You want to draw maybe every day. If you're a game developer, then you want to finish more games. Now, how you do that is, you know, you spend the time, you put the time in to finish it. If you're a game developer and you're working on something that takes a long time to finish, you know, you're working on a game that takes months and months and months or even years to finish, then maybe you should work on smaller games. If your motivation is such that you work on a big game for 6 months and then drop it because it's too hard, then you work on another big game for 6 months and you drop it because it's too hard. If that's your arc, then maybe you should be working on something that's 1 month. Work on a 1 month game and kind of build up steam that way, and you can slowly see yourself improve and slowly see your progress. Whereas if you only work on things that you fail, then you're never really going to succeed if you're driven by that. Now, if you're going to push through the lack of motivation, then it doesn't really matter, right? Like, you could say, okay, well, maybe something is, you know, this is taking a year or two to make, and my motivation is low, but I'm just going to push through and finish it. If that's how you want to do it, you can definitely do that. But as for maintaining your motivation, I would say the number one thing is to basically find out what drives your motivation and then kind of cater to that. Or just don't worry too much about it. I think people kind of tend to, like, maybe this is the real answer to the question. I think people kind of tend to overestimate what motivation is and how it works. Like you go to work, right? Like, you go to work, and most people don't have a job that they like. They just go to work. But you don't have to, like, gain motivation to go to work. Your motivation is you getting the paycheck. That's, you know, you getting a paycheck, providing for your family, providing for yourself. That's your motivation. So I think in that sense, like, your motivation doesn't depend on anyone else. It depends on you just doing what you need to do to survive. Your survival is your motivation. But when it comes to things like creative arts, making games, doing things that are self-motivated, then people say, well, how do I keep up my motivation? It's like, well, you just do it. You know, you just work on it and work on it and work on it. Maybe it's hard. Maybe you run into stopping points. Maybe you have to rethink how you approach specific problems in your, you know, work of art that you're working on. But I don't think motivation is something that you have to, like, you have to have motivation to do it, to execute. It's like playing games. Like, I don't think you have to have motivation to play a game. It's something you do for fun. So you don't have to build motivation. Like, okay, today I'm gonna play Valkyria Chronicles. Like today, you know, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna brush my teeth, I'm gonna wash my face, I'm gonna finally beat, you know, Mario Odyssey. Like, you say, oh, I'm gonna play something today. I'm gonna play some Mario Maker. I'm gonna play whatever, and you start playing it. So I think people kind of psych themselves out into thinking, like, I need motivation to work on my projects, when really, I don't think you need motivation. I think you just need to just get cracking on it. I think it's a lot easier when you know what you need to do. I think it's a lot easier also when you're completely skilled in accomplishing what it is that you need to do. I think it gets tough when you don't know. Like if you don't know, that can be a blocker. But I also think that if you don't know, that is that itself it can be part of the fun, right? Like if you don't know, like, oh, I'm making a game where you have an inventory system, like in an RPG where you can like select items and like use them, and you're like, well, I don't know how to do that, and you looking up how to do that kills your motivation. Well, instead of it killing your motivation, reorient your brain in such a way where it's like, oh, okay, I don't know how to do this, but at the end of today, I'll know how to do it. Like this is a necessary part. Like this is, to be a game developer, you're not gonna know everything. To be an artist, you're not gonna, be able to apply every technique. You're not going to be able to understand the concepts of lighting and form and everything. But that learning that stuff is part of the journey of becoming an artist, becoming a game developer. It's part of the process. So I don't think you should lose motivation when you have to learn, because that's part of the process of being whatever it is you're trying to be. So I think basically, rather than losing motivation or trying to keep motivation, you should always have motivation to work on some aspect of your project, whatever it is. I think it's hard to answer, because for me, being a game developer, my motivation is my interests are spread on everything. So while I have to do everything myself, and so it's harder for me to get better at everything, because I'm working on everything. I'm working on art, I'm working on music, I'm working on coding, I'm working on game design. I have to work on all that myself. But because all of these interests are varied, I never lose motivation, really, because they're all different. So like today I'm working on pixel art for no particular reason. It's fun. But when I'm done with the stream, I'm probably going to go back and work on Master Plan, which is just hard, programming stuff, like just straight programming stuff. So it's like, I'm not using up my motivation on everything, because each thing is different. I guess that's kind of another suggestion, is to just have different interests. So if you have if you're an artist and you're working on art, then you could work on that for your project, but then you could also have something else that you like to do in between, as kind of a downtime, or some other aspect of art, or some other aspect of a hobby. William says, Solar, are you a full-time game dev? Basically, yes. Am I a profitable full-time game dev? That's a different question, and the answer is no. Am I a full-time game dev? Yes. Yes, so we'll see how this goes. I mentioned this a long time ago, but basically, well, actually, I'll mention it again. The current project I'm working on really is called I Know Who I Am. It's there we go. It's called I Know Who I Am. It's a 2D adventure game. This is looking pretty good. It's a 2D adventure game, and so basically, I'll talk more about it at the end, or once I'm done. But basically, it's a 2D adventure game where you run around and talk to people and stuff like that, and that's the current thing I'm working on. Yeah, so we'll find out more. Everyone will find out more once it becomes more clear as to what my how I know who I am turns out, as well as the other projects I'm working on. So yeah, I'm a full-time game dev. That doesn't look as good. I think I'm over pushing on the cheek. I feel like it was better when it was just a little bit like that. I think it doesn't need to be that heavy of an effect. I think this. William says, what did you do before game development? I've always been game developing in terms of like things I like to do. If you mean what I do as a job, I was a technical support representative. So answering phones, helping people with their computers, that kind of stuff. definitely looks better. I like that. I think that's pretty good. I think we'll stop with this sprite here. This is fine. Or actually, I wonder if I can... This is pretty solid, I feel like. Yeah, I don't want to overdo it. I feel like this is pretty solid. That's the thing that's fun, but also hard about pixel art, is that it frequently, you frequently have to know. Oh, stream's kind of crunching. Stream's kind of crunching, so if it gets laggy or choppy, it's not just you. I think someone might be microwaving something in my house again. William says, can you make a setup video for all the software you use and how it all interconnects? I could, and that's not necessarily a bad idea, and I appreciate the comment, but at the same time, I'm not using that much software. I'm using OBS for video recording. I have a sprite. That's really it. If you mean all the software I ever use, that's kind of tough because again, it's, well, yeah, kind of again, because I deal with different aspects of everything, it wouldn't be a single video. So like I do video editing, you know, I use either Blender or KDE in Live. For music, I use Renoise. For art, I use a sprite or Blender if it's 3D. For video recording, OBS. It's just, it wouldn't all fit in a logical way in one video. So it depends on basically what you would want to set up video for. Like if you want to set up video for a sprite, it's, yeah, again, not that complex, it's just a sprite. And for recording, I'm using OBS. Alright, well I think that's pretty good. I don't like this particular aspect of his teeth. I feel like it kind of lost some visual clarity there. But it's kind of tough to portray teeth against white, essentially a white background. William says the ones you use for game dev. Do you mean like for everything related to game dev, or do you mean just like for the direct act of making a game? Because for that I use Visual Studio, Go. In the description, oh wait, is it still in the description? I might have taken it out. Let me see. Yeah, I took it out actually. Well, let me ask, like, are you interested in making games, or are you interested in like? Ask it. Are you interested in making games, or are you interested in like making things for games, like pixel art or something like that? I think this is pretty good actually. We'll put that up there. That doesn't really add anything. We'll just keep it nice and simple. I'm not sure what we could do about the teeth to kind of like clean it up. Maybe it's tough to get the teeth to stand out enough while also not making it super like distracting. That's kind of the tough one. Let's see. Tanko Fun says, go is Bay. Thank you. Hello, by the way. Hello. William says, I'm interested in making games. Also, okay, let's see. William says, I'm interested in making games. The direct act you use now, I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to exactly, but a sprite is for spriting, Godot for game development. You can start with that. I would say that's a good, definitely a good start. You make stuff with a sprite and export it to a PNG file, as an example, and then Godot can go ahead and import it. That's for a beginner. If you're just starting, that's definitely what I would start with, is probably a sprite or any spriting tool or art tool, because they all basically can export to PNGs, and then you can just kick that over to Godot. If you want to know the actual like moment to moment of how to get started with it, I would definitely look for like game from scratch or some other. Oh wait a second, actually I wanted to animate this guy. I'll look for like game and scratch or something else like that to basically give you a tutorial of like how to use Godot to import sprites, that kind of thing. Ooh, I like how much more three-dimensional it looks now. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, let's go with that. Very nice. William says, I was wondering how you use Go and Godot and how you use Raylib. You don't use. I don't use Go with Godot. Go is a okay. So Go is a programming language that is a static. Well, you probably know what it is already, but Go. I just use that standalone by itself with Raylib. So specifically the Raylib Go port. I think there is work to use Go in Godot, but I don't use that. I'm not sure if it might be a good idea, because GDScript I would say is not well, I wouldn't say it's not I wouldn't say it's satisfactory from a performance aspect if you're doing really heavy performance stuff. If you're doing really heavy performance aspects of game development, but it should be fine for most things. Eddie Dev Studios, hello, thank you very much for commenting, but please do not like promote your game in my chat. sorry, I appreciate it once again, but I don't think it'll actually get through the chat filter. So if you want to like let people know, go to the engine Discord or the engine forum for whichever engine you use, and then you can post about your project there and get people interested. Post about it on YouTube, hype people up that way. I don't think posting a link to your project in someone else's chat or video is really going to get you much traction. Let's see. The Fashion Killer says, is it possible to use Go in Godot? Yeah, I believe it is, but I think there's a project to do it, but I'm not sure how good it is, like how developed it is. Okay, so this is good. Let me actually get to work here. Let's animate this guy. So I'm thinking that he should kind of like bounce around. Yeah, let's go for something like that. Oh wait, yeah, let's go for like the obvious frames first. let's see. William says, thanks for the clarification. Oh, no. Yeah, no problem. Fashion Widget, or I'm sorry, Fashion Killer says, I meant GD script. I'm not sure what you mean quite. Do you mean GD script in Godot? Because, you know, of course, yeah. But did you mean something else? I'm not sure. Hetty says, it would be great if Godot had a slicing tool for making sprite sheet animations. Yeah, that'd be nice. I feel like the animation system's really strong as it is, but it would be nice if there was like slicing tools or something to kind of simplify. I mean, it's not hard, and it is rather easy to make sprite sheet animations, but it'd be nice if there was a little bit of a simpler approach to things, I think. Okay, so I'm not sure if I really will be able to do this. Well, let's say that the restriction we set upon our sprite is that it needs to be 32 by 32. If it was a bigger sprite sheet, then the tail would be able to move more so. So we'll just kind of do what we can to kind of push it a little bit. Alright. Push this a little bit more. Not sure about the tail here. Let's push the expression a little bit more. Let's see here. Okay, so what we'll do here, I think this is... I feel like this... I feel like the fluke, the tail, is just not really like working that well. That actually works not bad. That actually is not a bad little animation. Captain says it's starting to look so cool. Thank you. Let's make this in-between frame a little bit better. Aaron Soar says, discovered you through Sunbox Forum. Keep on doing awesome stuff. Thank you very much. And wow, it's been a while that I've been on since I've been on the Sunbox Forum. Thank you very much for checking out my channel. I really do appreciate it. No, that's fine. Rashad Z says, yo, how's it going? Yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, so I think that we just need this to be a little bit of an in-between frame, so we're just gonna kind of like push this a little bit in. Guillaume Leformal says, why for your sprites do you use a sprite when there are other tools that can be that are free, like Piscal or other? Excuse me for my English. I'm French. Actually, I do speak some French, so yeah, no problem. Yeah, if you want to comment in French, I'll see if I can read it and answer to my best of my ability. I use a sprite because it's a solid tool. It's just a good pixel art tool. It does just what's necessary to help you, to help you draw, and to help you, get the animations you want, help you get the feel you want. I think it's just a high quality pixel art tool, essentially. Okay. I think that's pretty good. There's still something up with the tail, and we just need to, again, push a little bit. Alright, cool. Now what we'll do is adjust the timing here so that this is, let's say 50, this is 100, that's 100, I think. There we go. Aeon Design says, nice whale. What game are you designing right now? This is just a pixel art stream. I'm not making sprites for any particular purpose. I'm just drawing some stuff. This could be... Arachnobot says, "Heyo, excited to finally be able to catch one of these. How's things?" Thank you very much. Thank you very much for stopping by. Everything's going pretty well. I'm just drawing some little sprite on stream. Turned out pretty good. Very arcade game. Although I think the resolution's a little bit too low for an arcade game. Usually they have pretty insane resolutions. But that's pretty good, I think. Not bad at all. Let me see. Apologies, I have to do something real quick. I'm sorry, I have to do something really quick. So I'm gonna go on a quick little break here, and be back in like 2 minutes, like literally. Thank you. I'm sorry, hold on. Sorry about that, and we're back. Marcelo Jao says hello to Brazil. Hello. Hello very much. Hello again, and thank you very much for stopping by the stream. So this is a pixel art stream. We're just making little sprites and stuff, something to do. Yeah, and this could be adjusted a little bit. Not bad. I feel like the shadow should be darker when he's on the ground, so that's what we'll approximate real quick. Although it's not like anyone will notice. go. Let's see. Aeon Designs says, okay, nice to know, I appreciate your work, thank you very much. Domo Ramos says, hey Solar Loon, love your streams, looking forward to part 2, thank you very much. Revulate says, hello Solar Loon and Pixel Warriors. Hi. Hello, thank you very much for stopping by. Eddie says, what are you drawing exactly? I think it's a SpongeBob's animal. It's just a whale with a horn, essentially. Domo says a narwhal. It's something like a narwhal, but I think narwhals are horned. I don't think it's horned whales, right? Are they horned dolphins? This is just, it's just a character. It's not really supposed to be anything specifically. I don't think. All right, but that's a nice little bouncy animation. The cheek is moving a little weird, but overall I think this is fine. I don't think we want to spend too much time on this as I continue to spend time on this. I think that's fine. Let's stop it there. Alright, cool. Let's move on to another one. Fashion Killer says, oh no, starting to question what are narwhals. Yeah, that's the current status of this stream. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure why my stream is like sub-quality. Let me do a quick check here, because it should definitely be doing better than it is. But for some reason the stream indicator in YouTube and in OBS is like shaky. Yeah, this is not great. Oh, that is not good at all. Okay. It's... I wonder why it's going so poorly. Alright, well, whatever. Let's keep going. I'll just keep going to the best of my ability. Alright. So. Well. Yeah, that didn't seem to really do much of anything. I wonder what's going on. I'm not sure why the quality of the connection just dropped out. Like, it was pretty solid up until right now, as far as I know. But yeah, all of a sudden the stream quality is just kind of started to drop. All right, well, we'll see if we can keep going. All right. So now it says it's excellent, even though it clearly is not. I don't know. This is all over the place. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna draw something else. Let's draw a different character. Iniki says narwhals are unicorn dolphins. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. Oh, Hetty asked a little while ago, can you make a 2.5D game pixel art and go to where sprites cast shadows and interact with light? You can. That either could be done in 3 dimensions or in 2 dimensions. All right, well this definitely has a good start. His back's too good. All right, so what we'll do here. Let's go with black. I feel like it's too hunched over. Noah S says, "What are you drawing?" I'm drawing an office worker who's fighting. At least that's what I'm going for. Let's see if I can pull it off. This was looking a lot better like before. I think it was because the silhouette was solid. Yeah, I think I can see it. Hold on. No, it's trash. What happened? That's so crazy. The silhouette was so good, and then like it just completely fell apart. I think the proportions of his head and face kind of lend itself to a certain shape that just isn't there. So let me kind of reform the shape I have here. Make his legs thinner. He's like really crunched down, but I'm not sure why. Hold on. Okay, it's definitely shaping up. Fashion Killer says, what's the res of the image? It's 32 by 32. So it's a tiny little image, but I'm trying to squeeze out as much as I can from this kind of a start. I'm kind of surprised that it's turning out as good as I was hoping, because I felt really shaky about it at first. I was like, man, I don't think it's turning out nearly as well as it should. feel like his hair is the messiest part. And I don't mean that in a good way. I mean like it's messy, like it's hard to parse. Let's see. Bundy says, okay, I come in here and I see the Simpson dude in a Bigfoot costume. No? Oh, I don't know, hopefully that's from like a while ago and not from like right now, because it shouldn't look like that at all. Oh, this is let's see. Guillaume says, what kind of games are you working on right now? One of them is, well, one is not a game, it's master plan. It's the planning software I've been working on. Another is I Know Who I Am. It's a 2D adventure game, and the last one is I don't know if it has a name, but it's basically a like an overhead kind of shooter, not shooter, but like an overhead adventure game, I guess you could say. I haven't really worked on it that much to the point of like having the combat down, so it's not super developed. I feel like that's definitely a step in the right direction, but I'm not sure. Not sure about the overall. Well, no, I think that's probably pretty solid. I'm not sure about the overall design though. That's really the weakest part. Oh, I was gonna change the music. I completely forgot. keyboard shut off. There we go. Better. Okay, let's see. Fashion Killer said you could try giving him glasses. No, I think he's good the way he is. I don't think he needs glasses. That looks pretty good, honestly. I feel like that kind of gets the point across. Your boy is coming. Your boy is coming for you. This is what happens when you don't pay your taxes. When the IRS roll up, like... when the IRS roll up, they say, "Excuse me, sir. You haven't paid your taxes." This is what happens. Review Let's says, "I think this guy throws his coat on the ground in rage mode." Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Like, he shows up, he throws a couple punches, you block, and he's like, "Oh?" He takes off his jacket. That's when you know this man is giving 100%. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can do something about this hair. I think that's pretty good. I feel like this is a little bit too bright, but I'm not sure if there's another color that would work to stand in. Let's see. That's good. too many dark oozes near his face. It needs to be clearer. Nah, that's okay. I think that's alright. Alright, that's definitely not bad. Oh, I completely forgot again. I was supposed to change the music. I'm too caught up in making this man ridiculously strong. Okay. Alright, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to animate him like dashing forward. Not sure if it'll come through. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make it back of this frame. Because this particular, like, his hair needs to be like completely going in the opposite direction. Yeah, okay, that's definitely a good start, I think. So I think his hair, well, I'll use this as a base frame for the next one, but basically his hair is gonna push in the other direction. Roughly to here, so bending over, his back should get a little bit bigger. Because basically, he's bending over, so like his center of gravity is lower, but his mass should increase because it doesn't go away. As a start, I'm trying to see what other frames I might need. Okay, so I think this is definitely a good start. So what we'll do, because this really does depend on like his forward momentum and like his physical spacing, what we'll do is kind of break our rule here and like change things a little bit. So we're gonna go to the sprite. We're gonna change the canvas size to, let's say, 96. And make a little animation. I think we're good to say delete this. So we'll do something like this. Slightly lower. Forward a little bit, change his silhouette slightly. His fist can actually come up a little bit. Yeah. This time come down. much better. Oh, Boondy has to go. Oh, thanks for coming, stopping by, Boondy and Rivulet Exhaust. Thank you very much for stopping by. Always a pleasure to have people join the pixel art stream. Alright, so this is definitely on its way. Yeah, okay. Perfect. So when he puts his weight down on this foot comes into contact with the ground. Put this over here. We're going to duplicate this, move this over, move this back. We're going to just kind of smoosh over a lot of details to kind of just blur. It doesn't really have to be that specific or important. Most important thing is probably to just maintain solid clumps of color. Jungle Beat says hello. Oh, Fashion Killer also had to go. Alright, well thank you very much for stopping by, Fashion Killer, if you're still here. And Jungle Beat says hello. Hello and welcome. Very nice. Let's adjust the timings on all this. This a solid 200 milliseconds. Let's give this like 100. This should have like 25. That should be like 50. This should be 75. This should be 200. Let's make this 100 and change this tie a little bit. literally cheating. Like just literally copy pasting, but that's fine. Yo, this is too abrupt. This is too abrupt, but it actually looks extremely good. That's fine. Like it's too abrupt in some ways. It could use some polish, but that's honestly pretty good. Like I'm actually kind of happy with that. I think this frame probably could stand the last 50 milliseconds. Yeah. His hair is too static at the end, but like that's pretty good actually. Although let's see if we can speed up, mess with the timing just a little bit more to make it a little bit better. So let's make it so that this frame lasts instead of 100 milliseconds, 75. Let's make this 400 so you have a little bit more. You know what? Let's make this 150. So you have a little bit more time to kind of like process what he's doing. Potato Pin says, "Ayo, just joined the stream. Thank you very much for stopping by. Also, I completely haven't been paying attention to my. Okay, so alright, so I completely was not looking at. This is super loud. I wasn't looking at my at OBS, so I'm not sure if I was like being seen the entire time or not. But it looks like everything's still okay. Yeah, so Potato Pin, thank you very much for joining the stream, and welcome. Welcome to the pixel art stream where I am attempting to just make cool stuff for no particular reason, and this is one of them. This is a sprite. Okay, so this is 150. This, I feel like, could be shorter. I feel like, yeah, this frame and those frames, yeah, this could be probably a solid 25, and this could be 25, because I really want it to be like, oh snap, he's suddenly on you kind of a thing. Oh yeah. This frame could be 50, and then this frame could be 500, because that's the end. Yeah, okay. So this is basically like, you know, you're supposed to turn in your taxes for anyone who's coming into the stream a little bit later, this is if you were supposed to turn in your taxes like a solid year ago, and you didn't. This is what you see. This is Mr. IRS coming for you. He's just like, you're just like, oh. He's suddenly all up on you. That's pretty good, honestly. Like, you see him do that twice, like dash in twice. It's like, oh snap. Like, you see him dash in twice, you know you're about to catch it. You know you're about to catch it. You see this mess? He goes, shh, shh. He presses down, forward, down, forward, down, forward, down, forward. You know you're about to catch 100% of what's about to follow. All right, well, this is pretty good. I'm glad I did this. It looks pretty solid, actually. Yeah, Mr. IRS. Let's do something else. Let's do another sprite. For those who just came, this is also the other sprite we did on stream, which is this horned whale sprite. So yes, we're making some cool stuff here. I feel like his tie should like push a little bit more on this frame. Like, this isn't done in that, like, there needs to be one more frame. Basically, the tie should be still over to the left. There should be another frame where it kind of swings right. Probably another 2 frames where it swings right and then back toward like this frame and then this frame. So it still is missing a couple of frames. So the action is fine, but the follow through is missing. The end of it is kind of stale. But overall, this is pretty good. I think this is a solid. Yeah, a solid movement. I think that this could probably be maybe just 100, so that it flows more smoothly into the dash, yeah. Let's do one more frame here. Or I guess here, actually, where he drops. Let's make his hair move a little bit. Yeah, just like that. This would be 15. Oh, even better. Don Duval says maybe his hair should whip a little along at the end along with the tie. Yeah, that would also be necessary. This is too stale at the end, but overall, like the feeling is solid. The feeling is extremely solid. Noah S says, "You making this for a new game?" Nope. I'm just making it because I wanted to stream something, and this is it's fun to just animate stuff. It's cool to make something and then be like, it kind of looks like trash, and then fix it, and it's like, it kind of looks better, and then you animate it or finish it up, and it's like, this looks really good. Now looking back at this whale, I feel like he should stretch more horizontally when he hits the ground. So the first frame should be really like push horizontally, which we'll do, actually. Now that I think about it, let's just do that. So instead of 32 by 32, we're just going to break it, because, you know, just for the sake of the animation. We're not doing this for any real reason, and even if we were doing it for a real reason, we could just make it a wider sprite, so that's fine. that already is like extremely better than before. It's crazy. Better. Potato Pin says squash and stretch. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what was missing is this stretch here. Also, his eyes should be probably lower here. Again, should probably be lower. Far better. I feel like the masses being like some mass is missing between these two frames. Like this probably should be higher, actually. That might be what it is. Better, I think this should be it. I think that's a pretty good start. That's pretty much it. 4-Bit Friday says, "Yo, sup? How's it going?" Oh, Mabes. Mabes says, "Hello, Mr. Solar Moon. I never call you that. I was able to tune in while at work. Very entertaining. I treat it as a podcast." Well, thank you for pulling me up at work. I appreciate that. IRS Man was my favorite sprite so far. Yeah, he's my favorite too. And 4-Bit Friday says, "Is this a unicorn whale?" Basically, yes. It's essentially a unicorn whale. That's what it is. Like, that's essentially what it is. And I think the hardest thing, the thing I didn't like and I don't like the most about this sprite is the teeth. I can't quite get it to look the way I want, but I don't really know. Oh, that kind of helps. Let's lower this also, because I don't want it to be too close to his eyes. Yeah, I feel like this is the best interpretation so far of his teeth. I think this is solid, the most solid. Yeah, that's probably the best. So we probably want something like, and then just like that, and then Forbit says, I was reading that more like a clown paint smile than teeth. Yeah, it's tough to get it with the color restrictions and it's a little tough to portray that as teeth, but I think that's okay. It's okay if different people see it in different ways, because pixel art is inherently driven by imagination a little bit more. Like if I like if I just increase the resolution, I could more realistically render this cartoon whale's teeth. But it does kind of look like a clown smile, and I think that's okay. It doesn't have to be super on point. That's fine. Yeah, it's not much space. I think it maybe if I just use different colors, it would be easier, because then I can make the teeth different from the underside of the whale. Or maybe if I did like this. Let's see how this looks. I like that I like the smile and the mouth in general, but I'm not sure about the teeth really adding anything. I don't know. It's kind of tough, dude. Like no matter how I think about it, it's tough. And yeah, I completely see it how 4-Bit Friday is looking at it. It does look like teeth spilling out, essentially, like a happy smiley face, rather, spilling out from the bottom half of the whale. So it's kind of tough. I don't know. And 4-Bit says that's the one of the things I like about pixel art is the interpretability of it. Yeah, that's true. It's completely kind of up to you as to how you want to view certain things, or rather, it's how your eyes see those things. But that's pretty good. I'm still happy with it, nonetheless. And then we got this dude dashing forward. Everybody loves it. How long have I? Oh, it's been. I was about to say. I thought it was. Oh, because I stopped and restarted my streaming on OBS. It says it has been only an hour, but I was like, no, there's no way. Yeah, it's been 2 hours. Okay. We'll do. Well, we got those two. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. I don't know about it taking another hour, but let's see if we can do one more. Someone commented like an hour ago. Someone commented an hour ago and said like, make Falco. Yeah, Heady Dev Studio said, make it like Falco from Super Smash Brothers. This is gonna be kind of weird. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Man, I'm looking because I know I made a Falco sprite, but this was like 2 years ago or something like that. I don't even know where. I think I changed it. Yeah, I did. I think it's on my Twitter. I'm looking on the site to see if I can find it. Hold on. Nah, I don't have it. That's unfortunate. Okay, so it's somewhere on the internet, but I have pixeled Falco before. I was gonna bring it up just because it was brought up, but in any case, we'll do something else. Let's do something else. Let's just do a character. an eye is so basic. It's so obvious. Not obvious, but it's something that, you know, I want something like interesting. It's crazy to think that this guy fits in 32 by 32. He's so hunched over. Okay, let's do another character like him, like 32 by 32, another dude. I'm probably not gonna animate this one because I don't want it to be another hour-long sprite. Let's make the character from Gearin. Let's do that. This is an interesting problem, because the sprite itself is very technically average, I would say. It's not, interesting. It's not that interesting. But what I'm trying to do here is essentially kind of compose a painting. I'm trying to pay attention to like the perspective of his body and all that while still having like a 32 by 30 sprite. It's kind of weird. But it's not undoable. I feel like it's out of alignment here. There we go. Yeah, that does help out a lot. Okay. This is such a weird thing to draw. Because it's so small, like that, like the perspective is just absolutely thrashed. I mean, like the perspective isn't thrashed, but it's so small that like no matter what you do, it just looks adequate at best. I don't know. I'm having fun with it. Whatever. This is still fun, even if it's not as technically interesting as the last one. It's interesting, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because this perspective is not one that you see very often in games, like, ever, where you're looking up at something from below. Usually you're looking down on something, you're looking, sideways, but rarely are you looking up at, like, somebody standing on a hill, which I guess I should probably do that. He's got these little chunky legs, dude. This is just funny. All right, this is still pretty good, honestly. Like I'm actually still. Oh wait. Oh, that's right. Okay. Like it's still kind of shaping up here. That's fine. Well, this is definitely interesting. This was definitely an interesting piece. I don't usually draw pieces like this. Usually I draw something for as though it was in a game. But this is kind of more just like a painting that just so happens to be pixel art, which is different. So it's so weird to be so low resolution. But that's not bad. That's not bad. So we managed to get some stuff done. We managed to get this bouncy whale pretty much finished. We managed to get this fast office worker finished, and we managed to get done a little bit of a painting, which is interesting. All right, well, I think we're gonna call it a day there. I've been streaming for a little while, a couple hours. Well, let's do one last thing here. Dark color at the end. Where's the color shadow? Still not done, actually. You know, I'm finding more and more things to work on about this. Now that I know, like, what I'm going for. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Maeve says, super grassy, much weed. Thank you. Thank you, Maeve. Thank you, I appreciate that. Alright, well this is definitely shaped up, and I feel like the color's chosen. Well, I mean, either one's fine, but I feel like at the end it definitely kind of pushes the mood a lot harder. That's very nice. I think it turned out pretty good. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching. I've been Solarloon. I've been making these little sprites and characters and stuff. And this was fun enough and successful enough that I think I'll probably do it again. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Next time I stream pixel art, or next time I stream anything here on my channel. So thank you very much for watching. I've been Solarloon. If you want to support development and art and all that stuff, please feel free to throw me some whatever. Check the description. There's links to different things you can purchase and stuff like that if you are so inclined. Otherwise, I'll catch you on the flip side next time. See ya.